Hey y'all, Indy here from the Conscious Club Podcast, the number one podcast on Vulfpeck. This week, Tori and I are talking about the Fearless Strangers. That's right, it's Nate Smith and Mark Lettieri. Maybe the Vulf adjacent members you may know the least about, or may know the most about. Either you'll learn something, or you'll tell us that we're wrong on something. It is the Fearless Strangers here on the Conscious Club Podcast. To the groove that turn you on. Okay. Okay. Could you just keep with something for a little while? Jeez. Well, hello. Hey, how you doing? That's right. It's another week. It's another TCCP.
Correct.
All for y'all. Hello and welcome. I don't know. Yeah. We're here. We're doing it. It's another week. We are in zone 2. This is the Conscious Club Podcast, the number one Vulfpeck podcast. That is right. Cody Sen represent. That's right. Welcome. If you have not seen this show before, you're in for a treat. A little chocolate covered truffle treat here. That is right. If you like Vulfpeck, you are in the right place because this is the podcast about Vulfpeck. We are in zone 2. We remain there for most of the show. We hope and plan to do. We are not experts in Vulfpeck. We are lovers of Vulfpeck, and some may say that we are the IRS of the Vulfpeck.
Correct.
That's right. The ever-present, effervescent
auditors
of the Conscious Club Podcast.
Correct.
And it's a little quiet.
What do you mean it's quiet?
It's a little quiet.
In what way? Why? Because we don't have background music?
Quiet. I know. You know when sometimes when you have a conversation on the podcast, you don't really notice there's no sound. But I'm noticing it.
I'm having no problem with the silence.
The sweet silence.
No.
The sweet science. It's the Vulfpeck podcast.
Those who have a problem with silence are afraid of facing
Be careful what you're saying.
what's
Be
truly.
careful.
They're afraid of being with themselves and just themselves.
Themselves. Well, we'll welcome everybody.
Welcome.
We have some Instagram handles. We have some email addresses. We have some art contributions. Contributions.
Love it.
On Instagram, it's at the Conscious Club Podcast. 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 That's right. Tori's Instagram is at Senorita Toria.
Mm-hmm.
A little confusing, but you'll get there. It's SENORITATORIA.
Correct.
Correct?
Yep.
Cool. I was correct.
Correct.
Also, fan art contributed by Mr. Cody Sen on Instagram. It's at Cody Sen Paintings. Etsy.com/shop/Cody Sen Paintings. Also, Tori's Etsy shop for her art. Etsy.com/shop/Victoria's Magic Art.
Correct.
That's right. You know what? We should get one of your Vulf paintings up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Maybe for a future ep.
Birds of a feather.
We rock together. That's right. Yes, and also we have a email address that you can email the show. It's tccpdirect@gmail.com. I want to say direct better. tccpdirect@gmail.com. tccpdirect@gmail.com. Send us your voice memos, your selfie videos, show segment suggestions, people we should talk to, qualms you may have with what we're saying here on the show, any and everything to tccpdirect@gmail.com.
Love it.
Yes, and thank you for watching this week. It is also the Conscious Club Podcast does not only stand for TCCP does not also stand for the Conscious Club Podcast. It's treasures of talent, curators of controversy, creators of content, and purveyors of podcasting. We're going through this intro like it's like it ain't nothing, but it is something.
It's something to us.
It's something. This episode is the Fearless Strangers. That's right. It's the members of the Fearless Flyers, in which you may want to know more about, since they're not directly in the Vulfshpere.
Adjacent, you shall say.
Adjacent to the Vulfshphere, and that is Nate Smith and Mark Lettieri. We are diving in deep to our favorite baritone guitarist and our favorite minimal funk kit drummer.
Absolutely.
With both have impeccable timing, impeccable chops, and provide pretty precision that Purdy would purvey
and approve.
Himself. Yeah, that Purdy would approve. That's right. They provide precision
that Purdy would approve.
Absolutely. I like that. Maybe alliteration will be MC Lynchpin's new single.
Oh my god.
That'd be good, huh?
Alliteration.
Yeah, inversion, Apple Music, Spotify. So, so yes, I think we'll dive into Nate Smith first. And since he was the opening song,
sounds good.
There's always something good from Nate Smith that you're gonna. There's nothing that he can't do rhythmically.
Oh yeah, he's very talented.
So, who is he, Tori?
So he was born Ira Nathaniel, or Nate Smith. His first name's Ira, in 1974. He's an American drummer, songwriter, producer, and a 3-time Grammy nominee. This guy. He was born in Chesapeake, Virginia, and started playing drums at age 11, initially influenced by the rock and funk music. At 16, he developed an interest in jazz after listening to the album of the year by Art Blakely and the Jazz Messengers. Smith studied media art and design at James Madison University.
Media art and design. Dude.
He's our people.
I love it.
Makes sense why he's so artsy in his dress, you know?
He's well put together. He's a well put together man. I would think he's a punk rock Mormon, the way he dressed.
What? I don't get
a
that.
A punk rock Mormon. I don't know.
Get like an artsy New Yorker vibe.
But Yeah. Punk rock. Yeah. Artsy New Yorker or punk rock Mormon.
Same thing. Same exact thing.
That's along the same subway stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Those are the cross streets in New York.
100%.
Yeah. So Smith went to graduate. Mr. Nate Smith went to graduate school at Virginia Commonwealth University, where he met Dave Holland and joined Holland's Quintet in 2003. Smith. I'm not quite ready for the NPR.
I don't think you're supposed to cough on NPR.
What's that?
I don't think you're supposed to cough on NPR. I think you'd get literally fired.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not quite eligible to be on NPR.
I was adding to the idea.
Nor that I would want to be.
Yeah, it's boring. Talk about not zone 2.
I mean,
talk about zone 3.
I agree.
Those guys.
Although NPR is very not zone 2.
It's so low key.
I would think our audience probably listens to it, so I'm not going to hate on it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, that's right. So we love you, NPR. Don't listen.
This episode is sponsored by NPR.
KFI LA 640 AM. Also, if guys get this, Smith appears on the albums Critical Mass 2005 and Pathways 2009, which was produced by Dave Holland Quintet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perhaps. Let me double check on this. I don't want Danny Wood coming at me.
Yeah, Dave album. It's a Dave Holland album.
Dave Holland. Okay. Yeah, Dave Holland. Okay. Pardon.
Danny is holding his horses.
Danny, yeah, he was about to furiously
literally
type.
like hands on the fucking keyboard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. In 2017, he released his first album as leader, Kinfolk Postcards from Everywhere. Sorry. Kinfolk Postcards from Everywhere on Rope-A-Dope Records. I love that.
That's a cool name.
That's dope. Rope-A-Dope. Hey. Smith has composed soundtracks for broadcast documentaries on Discovery Channel and the Learning Channel. Ah, dope. He co-wrote and produced the Michael Jackson song Heaven Can Wait.
I know. Shook, right?
Co-wrote and produced?
Yeah, he fucking worked with Michael Jackson, yeah.
What?
No, I know. It's pretty crazy. Nate Smith, songwriters.
What?
Says it right there on the side.
Dude.
Right there,
All
dude.
right, let's see. Does his name pop up more here?
In the first paragraph.
Written and composed. Oh my God. Co-produced. Oh. Dope. Mr. Nate Smith. We love him. We adore him. Incredible.
And I have a Q&A question about Michael Jackson coming up, so.
Well, hey.
So we're getting to it, folks.
Well, let's get to it. Let's get to
Are
it.
you
So
sure?
it's a cute. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
is
cool.
there any more pivotal information other than that? I think that's a good note.
Well,
to dive
he has
into.
his own record label and production company, if you want to mention it. He formed his own in 2008.
Oh.
Yeah.
Smith
so that's
formed
the
his
next
own
part.
record. Yeah. Well, look at that. Formed his own record label and production company, Water Baby
Music. Yeah.
In 2008. Ah, same year as Vulf Records.
Ah.
That's a tasty coincidence.
Love it.
He issued his debut solo offering Workday Water Baby Music Volume 1, 2008. Mr. Smith currently lives and works in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, yeah. I have a Q&A from Billboard here.
Q&A from Billboard here.
To start off,
All aboard.
there's a quote from him, and it says, "It's scary. Putting yourself on the line. The best thing that could happen is people love it. The second best thing that could happen is that people absolutely hate it.
Preach.
Because then at least they're talking about it.
Oh.
The biggest fear is that it falls in the forest with not so much as a thud." A poet, this guy.
This takes me back to film school.
Yeah.
So I had a directing teacher, Mr. Engels, Rob Engels, who directed and wrote some episodes of the original Twin Peaks. A phenomenal director. Also directed this show Andromeda, which I have to show you how Andromeda.
The galaxy. Put show.
Show. Sorry, pardon me. Excuse me. Oh yeah, he produced.
Stop it now.
He produced this show, dude.
I love that. Andromeda, does it suck?
Yes.
It's like Star Trek, but like not, basically.
Right, yeah. It's a cheaper Star Trek, but still cool sets, you know?
It literally looks like the Space Mountain ride at Disneyland.
Right. Yeah, it's like Space Mountain, and like Star Trek and Star Wars had a baby that perhaps was in a special needs program.
Love that.
Yeah.
Right up my alley.
Yeah. But Mr. Rob Engels, I didn't want to get away from the point here, but Mr. Rob Engels told us in class that in directing class, directing for film and TV, that you want your audience to either hate or love you. Because if they just walk on with their life, go on with their life as if they didn't see what they just saw from you, that is the worst failure.
Absolutely.
Because they ain't talking about it. If somebody says, oh, I hate the way they did this sucked, this blah, 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 at least they're talking about you.
Yeah.
You know? And Nate Smith, aligning with Mr. Bob Engels, writer-director of Twin Peaks and Andromeda.
Yeah, and in fine art school, it's the same exact thing. The whole point of creating art is to get a reaction out of people and to spark an emotional reaction in somebody. And if there's no reaction at all, then you have not done your job as an artist. And so even if it's a great reaction or a terrible reaction, at least you're getting a reaction. Yeah.
So like what you said at your art school final project, where there was a final project where people were at a dinner table.
Correct.
And then the I mean, I'm sure Cody Sen would love this. This is
probably art. Actually.
But where the centerpiece dinner
correct
was an oversized
it's like a
entree lid.
Yeah,
right.
Like
you
get
at a nice restaurant, and it happened to be you explain it better.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a woman in a nude bodysuit, practically naked. Okay. Huddled
Every
underneath.
story that's good starts like that.
Huddled underneath a super large, mega huge, mega super large entree lid. And she was on a silver platter with a lid, and they took the platter off, and she came out and unfurled herself.
And people are sitting at the table.
People are just sitting and eating. Nobody even moves. And nobody reacts to her at all. And she just goes around and starts eating everybody's food and putting the food all over herself and just fucking just eating the food. And yeah, that's art school.
Do you have footage of that?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Could I put it in the edit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll show it to you.
Okay, send it to me after the show.
Okay.
People are going to want to
Trust me,
that.
it's on YouTube. You'll see it.
Also, wasn't there an interesting story about a more graphic
there was
exposition of art?
Correct.
Exhibition of
I
art?
went to an extremely expensive private school in Chicago, private art school.
Not bragging.
No. It was so just absolutely insane. Anyways, there was a girl who, for her performance piece, cut open. Well, first she had in one jar feces, and in another jar she opened a can and poured in SpaghettiOs. And she then decided to grab a pair of scissors and cut out the crotch of her jeans. And she then took the feces and started spreading it all over her body and like all over her face and her body and stuff like that. And then she took the SpaghettiOs and shoved it up her, you know what? And then decided to, while people were not even 3 feet away from her, squirt.
Could you use another verb?
Sorry.
Please?
Project
Yes.
the SpaghettiOs outside of her body onto the guests that were watching.
And what was her intended artistic problem she was trying to solve, or what was her artistic
shock and awe is probably
voice?
really the the purpose, because people still talk about it today. Probably shock and awe.
Well, that's true. People still talk about it today. I don't think it's how she intended it to be talked about.
Yeah. In my view, it could have something to do with like sexual assault and like feeling dirty and like the feces, like feeling dirty, and then like the act of that, something that seems really, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be something about that.
And I went to Cal State Fullerton, where
Aren't you lucky?
My entire school probably cost a third of what one semester costs at that school.
Mm-hmm.
But we still get that angles education, where as even if it's good or bad, still talking about it. I guess you did your job. The fact that you're willing to get a bacterial infection inside your organs.
So gross.
Yeah. Anyway, I did not expect
that was a jaunt.
Well, I mean, I knew that story before you told it, so I knew what we were going to jump into when I said, "Oh, there's another story over there." Right? But I didn't quite. That was a very picturesque verbal story you said.
Yeah, it's something I'll never.
We're
forget.
not even monetizing this on YouTube, but we're going to be demonetized in some way.
As soon as it ever has the chance to be monetized, it'll be demonetized. So.
Yeah, we'll like sell it to HBO Go, the podcast.
I love that.
Sorry.
Anyways, back to Nate Smith here.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We got an art school tangent. But the Q&A with Billboard magazine.
Yeah.
And we can show that it does exist.
A thing.
Yes. Nate Smith debuts Pages with Gretchen Parlato and talks about the song he wrote for Michael Jackson. How incredible. And he says it's scary. Did we say this already?
We can go to the first question though.
Oh, biggest fear is that it falls in a forest with not so much as a thud, where we broke off into an interesting tangent. And we return and we digress to Mr. Nate Smith.
Yeah. So he said, when you first started playing drums, or the question person, the interviewer says,
right.
When you first started playing drums, did you ever see yourself becoming a band leader? And Nate said, I really had no idea. I just wanted to play. It was just about loving the sound of the drums. But over the years, you see these stories that you really want to tell and find a creative way to tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think most greats start out this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to play. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. You ready for some Michael Jackson tea?
I am. I'm ready to drink that tea. What is it? What is it, Tori?
All right. So they said you also have credit on a Michael Jackson song, right? And he said, I was a grad student at Virginia Commonwealth University, and I was producing, as I always have, R&B music. It's a part of my life that jazz fans and listeners don't really know about. I was just making demos in my bedroom, and I met a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew Teddy Riley. One of the tracks that I wrote ended up being in Teddy's hands, and he was soliciting songs from Michael Jackson for the Invincible album. One of the songs I wrote became made the album?
Maybe forget became.
One of the songs I wrote made the album. It's called Heaven Can Wait. It came out in 2001. It was A Long and Winding Road. He laughs. It remains the biggest and the most miraculous accident of my career. It's something I definitely plan to return to.
When the Michael Jackson thing happened, I wasn't prepared for it at all. For the first 2 weeks after that record came out, every A&R would take my call. I could get any meeting I wanted, but I'd roll up to the meeting and I didn't have anything to play for them. I didn't have a catalog of Heaven Can Waits. That's the lesson I learned. Be ready. When that kind of opportunity comes, you've got to be ready for it. That's a really, really cool sentiment and something awfully vulnerable to share.
Yeah.
Don't know Nate Smith, but in my limited, this episode we're learning about Nate Smith, but in my limited preconceived notions of Nate Smith, I thought, that's interesting. That's an interesting thing to be willing to say, to give up, because as good as incredible as a musician he is, the fact that he's willing to admit that says a lot about him.
Yeah, and we've all been through experiences like that. Like we've all been to like a first interview and we haven't gotten a call back and we've bombed an interview. You know what I mean? And
it's most of the interviews we've had.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's like, it's something that we can all relate to, where it's like, you get the chance to like, oh, cool, I get to go to like this studio or this company and have this interview. It's like, this might be my chance. And then you bomb it. And it's like, everyone can relate to that. So it's like, you have to be ready. Right. You have to be prepared. And sometimes it's just not your it's not your time.
Yeah. And I think practicing the vulnerability he's willing to give here for me is, you know, sometimes I fear that this show is just a lucky fluke that we've been doing for dozens of weeks now. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's easy to go, well, or to put yourself in a future scenario and go, Jack calls me, Jack DMs me of some set, right? Like it, and goes, you know, we want to do this, integrating your show, either lay this Easter egg or help do this, help do that, and or come on the show, you know, or like if I even reached out for him or Mushy or Theo or Corey or anybody to come on the show, that I would have to be ready for that responsibility, because we can talk about Vulfpeck all we want without them here, but the second they're here, what happens to the show? You know what I mean? And that's something that I kind of am a little bit intimidated about, I'll be honest. You know, a little, not necessarily intimidated, but like, I want to make sure it's me and it's the show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't want to be like over prepped with Vulf trivia questions. Not necessarily, you know what I mean? Like with a folder and, okay, Jack, you know, like, okay, Corey, you know, like I want it to be us. I want it to be the show. And like, and that's where I'm thinking like, you got to be ready for it. And I think we're getting to that point. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think we need a better setup. We need a better studio. We need to be more situated, so that it's more of a plug and play environment. Yeah. You know? And I really resonate with that little piece there.
We love Nate.
Yeah, we love Nate.
So I put his website in here because it's really pretty.
NateSmithmusic.com.
I thought everyone would like it. And he has some nice photos.
Some dope photos that we got. Oh, snap, yo. You can get the black and white version too, y'all. It's got that Corey Wong cream
I love
background.
That. Looks nice.
Dope. Love it. Minimal. Minimal. Mr. Nate Smith. We love him. What else does he feature on here, huh? Huh?
Lots of stuff. Some of this is probably in the podcast. Oh, yeah, a lot of this is.
Very Nate Smith. This guy, man. I can definitely see why he's a fearless flyer. Like the precision.
For sure.
Everything's precise, and it sounds like it isn't, but it is.
Oh, it is.
Like, not to throw shade or anything, but it's just like, it sounds so effortless. But when,
yeah, I know what you mean.
But when you're also like, okay, I want to hear for that snare, and it's just like, and it's just like, how can that even be human?
He's Nate Smith.
Let the rhythm hit 'em. 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 Let the rhythm hit 'em.
I am not worthy. Gotta let the rhythm hit him.
Heck yeah, dude.
Mr. Naismith. We got some more clips here.
We have lots of clips
do it.
tonight. This was just a really beautiful music video he did that I really liked.
Kinfolk, y'all. It is,
This is a counting lesson.
counting lesson with Naismith.
Wait a second. This is Chicago, man. Come on now. All right, here we go.
That's beyond my blue-collar musicianship, that's for sure. We love Mr. Nate
Good old
Smith.
Nate Smith.
Corey Poached.
He
What
got
is this?
poached. This is our last clip.
Corey Wong?
He got poached.
Oh, yes. Mr. St. Paul himself, huh?
Yeah, had to include this because it's Vulf related.
You know, incredible song. There is a part in this song, which I heard earlier this week, that is just so natey.
Yeah.
Where is it here? Mr. Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Mr. Baptiste.
I love how he has the jack headphones.
Yes. so many furniture pads on the piano.
So good. I know.
Here we go. What we coming through, huh? It's MC Linchpin coming through St. Paul. Yo, we growing on that Vulf in the TCCP. Yo, going at the head with the Nate and Smith. Going down to St. Paul, y'all.
Corey Wong.
That outro.
Come on, man.
John.
Come on, man.
That's it, right? Come on. That's insane. That's how I know. If I get the point, that's how
The Nate Smith meme, y'all. Well, I think
The
that was
Nate Smith point.
The Nate Smith point. That's what I want to get. And that's a very hard thing to get. Much like the Great British Baking Show where you get the handshake.
Ah.
We get the handshake. Get that Nate Smith point.
Yeah.
You done good. You done good.
Mark Lettieri.
Yeah, that brings us to Mr. Mark Lettieri. I know there's a lot more on Nate Smith that we haven't covered yet, but that is for future podcasts. Okay? Now it is Mr. Mark Lettieri. And after your exquisite yawn,
Apologies.
who is Mark Lettieri? No. I wanted to wait till after the yawn.
So Mark Lettieri is a guitarist, composer, and producer based in Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, y'all.
He is south of Dallas. Married with 2 cats. Love it. Born in the San Francisco Bay Area, Lettieri came to to Texas via Texas Christian University, studying advertising and public relations. And
He knows how to sell products.
yeah, he does. And competing in track and field. A passionate guitarist since middle school, he began his music career in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area upon graduating from TCU.
One could say this guy runs products. Cross country,
Love it.
track and field.
Playing in the vibrant Metroplex gospel and R&B scene led Lettieri to join jazz world group Snarky Puppy in 2008.
And that's with Corey Henry,
Yep.
right? The lead or the lead apostle.
Yeah, I would say so.
Is that the funk apostle? He's like the king apostle. No,
Funk Apostle.
funk apostle. It's like the dad or like the patriarch of the apostles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. I want to mention I love his Christian approach. It's very Corey Wong.
Very Corey
Like
Wong.
there's a consistent there's consistency in the Vulfshpere with guitarists and being Christian.
That is a true statement, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, albeit
Other than
we only
Theo.
know 2. Yes. But they wrote Christmas in LA, so they're
True.
like
So he has the Christian card, I guess.
right. They can
For
they
Christmas
have
in LA.
that Christian card.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
So, outside of Snarky Puppy, Lettieri has released 4 albums as a leader. Nose in 2011,
Future Fun in 2013.
Spark and Echo in 2016.
And most recently, Deep, the Baritone Sessions, 2019.
Spark and Echo reached number 11 on the Billboard Jazz Album Chart and number 2 on iTunes Jazz Charts.
Oh!
He performs his
Crazy.
music live with the Mark Lettieri Trio, featuring Wes Stefferson,
Stefferson.
aka Funky Knuckles. Stevenson, aka Funky Knuckles, on bass, and Jason JT Thomas
JT, y'all. I love that.
on drums.
In 2018, Lettieri joined up with Vulfpeck, spin-off group. In 2018, Lettieri joined. In 2018, Lettieri joined up with Vulfpeck's spin-off group, the Fearless Flyers, featuring Corey Wong, Joe Dart of Vulfpeck on guitar and bass, respectively, and drummer Nate Smith, Chris Potter, and Pat Metheny. Parentheses. The quartet has released 2 EPs, The Fearless Flyers in 2018 and The Fearless Flyers 2 in 2019. As an in-demand session guitarist and touring sideman, Lettieri has logged miles with neo-soul icon
Erykah Badu.
Erykah Badu, thank you. Badu, I do too.
Erykah Badu.
Gospel singer Anthony Evans, and American Idol season 11 winner Philippe.
No, it's Philip Phillips. Philippe. It's Philip Phillips.
Philippe.
Butchered.
He's also performed
Tarnished.
with a myriad of other artists, including Nelly from St. Louis. Y'all learned that on the MFCEO project. And including Nelly, Anthony Evans, Chrisette, Michelle, Myron Butler, Ndambi, Bilal, and even comedians Dave Chappelle and Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Cool shit, huh?
Incredible. That's some accolades.
That is some
These
freaking
accolades.
accolades, this guy.
What is Dave Chappelle doing with Mark Lettieri?
They're just jamming, bruh.
They're just making fun of trans people left and right because they're Christian.
Yeah, there we
Oh!
go. There it is.
I mean,
JK.
common denominators.
We're not here to tarnish any reputations.
No tarnishing of reputations.
No
it was
smearing.
just an attempt at a joke. And if I am doxxed in the future because of it, I know there'll be simultaneous docudramas tarnishing my name. And I want to bring clarity, comma, my ash. I want to clear my name, comma, my
And my
ash.
ash.
And my ash. Well, Snarky Puppy. You know, it's a Brooklyn-based jam band led by bassist Michael League. Snarky Puppy combines a variety of jazz idioms, rock, world music, and funk, and has won three Grammy Awards. Huh. See you, Vulfpeck and Rays. Is that what you say?
Yeah, something weird like that. I see you that.
I see you those 3 Grammys. Vulfpeck, will you raise? I don't gamble, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Help us, Danny.
It's something. Yeah, thanks, Danny. He's gonna give us gambling advice in the comment section of the Conscious Club podcast. Well, although the band has worked with vocalist League described Snarky Puppy as a pop band that improvises a lot without vocals. Snarky Puppy is sometimes referred to as a collective, like the Bruns Collective, brunscollective.com, Jason Lee Bruns. Look it up.
You're literally just a shill.
I'm a shill for Jason Lee Bruns, and I respect the
and
man.
JLB only. Well, and Vulfpeck.
Well, he's like the man of that I'm most friends with. That's great. You know what I mean? Like, I have my friend Sean McDaniel, who's incredibly great.
He's very great.
And you got
Jabron
Jason
is
Lee
great.
Bruns. And Jabron's great.
Aiden's great.
Aiden's great. Well, Aiden's
How dare
He's not going to watch this. He'll never know. What kind of friend is he? JK. We love you, Aiden. He hates my dentist, Mr. Aiden.
So.
Yes. But also, he recently got married to a Dutch woman.
True.
Incredible.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, we're off on a tangent.
Yes, on a tangent, but back to Mr. Mark Lettieri, TCCP direct at gmail.com. TCCP direct at gmail.com.
Whoa.
I just wanted to
So he
bring
has
some
a
extra
super
energy.
professional website as well, which I thought would be cool to show.
Super
In case
professional.
anyone wants to see him
Oh,
live.
this is Squarespace. Is this Squarespace? Powered by Squarespace, huh?
I have Squarespace too.
Yeah. Beautiful.
VictoriaNelson.org. Or I mean, is it .org? Yeah.
Victoria
Nelson.org.
.org. You better know your own URL. Hey.
Hey, turn off dark mood.
You don't like dark mode?
Not my webby. Yee.
Look at. Oh, it's almost like you got a professional photographer
And he took the picture.
Nah, dog. Go to
I didn't show
victorianelson.org.
any of my art.
Well, then go to your
At
Instagram.
least
@SenoriTori.
give them a taste of what I'm working with here.
Hey, show yourself, girl. Show that shit.
At
show
least,
yourself.
at least give the people what they want. It's a little bit of a taste. All right, back to Mark
Dope.
Lettieri's Squarespace.
I love it. No, I just wanted to show that he has a website. New album.
New album.
Oh, this is the baritone sessions, huh? Oh, sorry. It is not the baritone sessions. It is nap time.
Apologies.
March Lettieri. I didn't want to get taken down here, but
Apologies.
Incredible. No need to apologize.
This one might not be, hopefully.
Yeah, usually if it's like a live performance, it's not.
I hope.
Oh, we good.
We good.
That dexterity. He's getting some beats.
We always overload the drive. I don't hear you anymore. Where'd you go? Muerto. You're dead. No longer to exist. You don't exist. Ghost drummer. So everyone please appreciate Mark and his greatness.
I know. The universe was like, you are not playing over this
No.
guitar. Yeah.
They don't want.
We love you, Mr. Mark Lettieri. And someone tried to cover it.
Oh,
LOL.
yeah. Someone tried to cover this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is the keyword here tried?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I put this rundown together a long time ago. I think they end up doing a good job, actually.
Dexterity.
Bob Ross, I know.
Bob Ross and Mushy Krongold had a child that went to a...
Where is he? He's like in the like French catacombs. Like, where is he?
I know.
He's literally in the basement
like he
of
was-
like an ancient like church.
Right. Yeah, if you've seen Halloween Wars, it looks like this guy was a finalist.
Us with the relevant examples here again.
Yeah,
What was our last
Halloween
one?
Wars.
Our last one
it was the
uh,
French catacombs.
No, I know, but what was our last example that was not relevant at all? Oh, it was Faker Fortune.
Faker Fortune with Philip Mold. God.
And now Halloween Wars.
God.
On
Halloween Wars.
check it out on
and it's
Hulu.
been like more than a month since
Oh,
Halloween.
true, yeah. I still have it stuck in my head though, because I love those cooking shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. Someone
Anyways,
tried to cover it. LOL. Love it. And they pretty much did.
last clip. Fave
Hey, we're
riffs.
here to talk about some of my
Yes. I like Mark. See, it'll happen. Can't hear it.
All right, well, that was my take on one of my favorite riffs, Prince's Bambi. That's a tune from his self-titled record, and it's a really cool riff. Let's talk about it. I like it for a couple reasons. One, the tone is awesome. I don't even know how he did it, but it sounds like some kind of a fuzz, maybe like could be straight into the console. I'm not really sure, but it's like a really cool, gritty, kind of grainy, kind of screwed up sort of sound, which is really neat. So we have this TC Honeypot Fuzz doing the work for
Fuzz.
that.
Fuzz.
Honeypot Fuzz.
If you played electric guitar, you'd have the fuzz.
Kind of like Hendrix
7
inspired.
fuzz.
A lot of
pedals.
the sort of like thumb over the neck kind of vibe, that kind of thing. It's It's actually kind of a hard maneuver to do. And then this little chromatic octave move, which I love. That's almost like something from maybe like Fire or one of those old Hendrix
He's
tunes.
so into it.
Love his face.
His facial expressions.
C sharp is such a satisfying key for power chords.
We're not laughing at Mark
he's
Lettieri.
adorable. That's
We're
why we
laughing.
He's so happy. That's why we like him.
Yeah, we love him. And also, notable mention, the coffee cup. Tall black boy here.
Oh.
Did not mean that. And I think that is a great place to end the Conscious Club podcast episode, whatever it is.
Doxed.
And let's see if I can get anything on it. Hey!
Yay, we're back.
All right, so
Anyways,
it's the Fearless.
this has been the Fearless Strangers.
The Fearless Strangers on the Conscious Club podcast. It's an interesting show we've had tonight, but it's a show nonetheless. And Tori, do you have a request for me?
I have a request for you to play Santa Baby. Maybe.
What's the rhythm? What's the rhythm?
It's a...
Oh yeah.
Ba-da-ba-dum. Da, da, da. Ba-ba-da-da. Da, da, da. Da-da. There he goes. Just have to get him in the mood and then he'll get in the groove. Da. A rough exit here. This has been a rough exit here on the TCCP podcast.
I will recover here. Okay, here we go. Ho, 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 ho. Zone.
What are you doing?
We're
Ho,
getting into
ho.
zone two. We're getting into zone two. Okay. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Club podcast. It's been the Conscious Club podcast, TCCP, treasures of talent, curators of controversy, curators of content, creators of content, purveyors of podcasting. We're the number one Vulfpeck podcast. We're in zone two. We're not experts. We're the IRS of the Vulfpeck. We're auditors of the Vulfpeck. Danny Wood is the auditor of the TCCP. He keeps us in line. And also, it's at the Conscious Club podcast on Instagram. It's at Senorita Toria on Instagram, on the Instas. It's SENORITATORIA and Etsy.com/shop/Victoria's Magic Art. And also, we have an email address. It's at tccpdirect@gmail.com. 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 Also, the beautiful art behind Tori's head is produced and contributed by Mr. Cody Zen. Cody Sen, 2 N's. Paintings at Cody Sen Paintings on Instagram, etsy.com/shop/Cody Sen Paintings. We have a clips channel, TCCP Clips channel. If you've made it this far, wow.
You are a true fan.
Whoa. I would have gotten out when I started playing Santa Baby. But the fact that you're even this far.
Abort mission. Abort mission.
Thank you so much. We love you so much. It is the Conscious Club
Thank you for
podcast.
joining us.
It is you that keeps us going.
Yeah.
Danny Wood, Tamara Wolf, and Trisha Robertson, and
All 4 of you.
all 4 of you.
JK.
We love you. Who
Please
else
subscribe.
Who else is a
and
notable mention?
who else? I don't know.
Leanne Katari.
Sure.
She comments on our Insta.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for
love
joining us this week. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Monday.
And say that one more time.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this week for the Conscious Club podcast, and we'll see you next week.
One more time.
Thank you.
Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on the Conscious Club podcast, and we will see you next week.
It wasn't that good of a transition. I'll work on it.
Wait a second. This is Chicago, man. Come on now. All right. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Indy here, and thanks for watching the Conscious Club podcast. Please be advised that this is a fan-made podcast. Even though we would love nothing more, we are not associated with Vulfpeck, Vulf Records LLC, Vulf Productions Inc, or any associated acts tied to the greater Vulf umbrella. We do this show out of love, not for monetary gain. We simply wanted an outlet like this to exist, so we made it happen, and I hope that's okay. Thanks for watching, and always remember, fee fi fo fum.